Hey, so welcome back to my YouTube channel. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you are tuning in. Hello and welcome. Please do not forget to like, please do not forget to comment and subscribe so whenever I post, you are alerted. So with that being said, we're just gonna get started. So you guys, if you don't know, I'm about to put you on. So let me give you a little backstory. So as you guys don't know, I shaved my head like 4 times since October. Yes, I don't know, but it's about to be a year since I've had my head shaved, and honestly, I can say that I loved every single moment of it. It was not a moment that I was like, I wish I had my hair, up until like recently when I grew it out and then I dyed it. And then once I realized like it was too much maintenance, I really wanted my baldy back. I just like putting my wig on and going. I don't know if it's because I've gotten lazy over the years. I just was like, I don't feel like doing my hair. I could just slap a wig on. Style is already in and go. Like, I don't gotta spend time on my hair. It was just a good feeling to know that I had control over my perspective and my ideas and the attachment I had to my hair. So I decided to dye my hair. Like I said, I dyed it a honey blonde. Did not like it. Might insert some clips. First of all, I did not like that the honey blonde washed out my skin tone and my skin tone washed out the hair. It was like, I felt like it had no color. It was weird. Like, it had no tone. And I just hated it. It didn't feel beautiful. It didn't feel comfortable to me. And I was not going to ever go outside with it. That was the whole point of me dyeing my hair, was to have a different look so I'll feel more comfortable. But no, sis. So I ended up shaving my head. And when I shaved my head, I noticed something very odd. And I was like, whoa. I did not notice that before. The week, once my hair started to grow everywhere else, but not the bald spot, I was like, yeah, that's definitely a bald spot. So after looking on Google, you know, Google gonna tell you dying, you got AIDS, and like the world is ending. I was holding it off for a while, but then I started to notice like the top of my scalp started to feel very, very sensitive and very, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, if I was to like rub my hand on my hair, it just didn't feel right. Also, my hair looked a lot thin growing in than it did the last time. So I was just like, let me really take this serious, because I don't want it to be that this bald spot spread. So I was like, let me just set up an appointment, you know, go from there. So I ended up going to the doctor, and guys, yo, tell me why. I walked in the doctor's office and I'm like, oh yeah, I have 2 bald spots and I want to talk about my eczema. So they just keep looking at me like, what bald spots is she talking about? After they came in, I'm like, yeah. So he's like, what you here for? I'm like, I came for my eczema and the 2 bald spots in my head. I was like, yeah, the bald spot is, he looked so petrified. Like, he was like, I just think that they didn't expect it to come off, because the female nurse was like, I didn't expect that. I was like, yeah, I hear that a lot. I know I be finessing my wigs that well that they just look natural. It's like, you don't need to be scared. It's still me. He's like, no, you're fine. You're fine. I'm like, okay. But anyways, so after, like, he's still in shock and I'm trying to point out the bald spot. He's like, okay, we're gonna take it one at a time. So he was like, let me just hear about this. So as I'm telling him the story, he's just staring at me like still in awe and shock. And then once he looks at the bald spot, he's like, oh, I'm like, what does mean? He's like, oh, okay. Listen, when I go to the doctor, do not make the oh, okay. That sound scares me. It makes me feel like that I'm going to die in a couple of days. Like, bro, what you mean? So, yo, so why, after we finished talking or whatever, he's like, yeah, you know, I think it's like a yeast. He said it could be a fungus, it could be a yeast of some sort. Like, if you ever heard of wingworms, then, you know, he told me it's a part of the family, but it's different. I'm like, okay, so how would you get a fungus or yeast in your head? It was like your hygiene, sweating, it could be a lot of factors. And I'm like, well, my hygiene is pretty up to par because I have a bald head, so I always wash my head. But I was like, I do sweat a lot because my head is bald. And, you know, I never really thought too much about it, but I was like, the only thing I could think of is the fact that I bought this wig and cap from Amazon, and that could only have contributed to it. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know where it could have come from. So I don't even want to label it. I'm just happy that I found out what it was. I'm just really happy that it's not my lupus, because lupus, that will take a couple months for it to come back, and then sometimes even then you don't even know if your hair will grow back. So I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't want to sound dirty. I'm just happy that it's something that I could fix and cure and not have to do it. You feel me? So with that being said, he told me that I would have to either take a medication orally, or I could take a medication where I would just have to rub on it. My pharmacist and my doctor told me to make sure that I keep the area very, very dry. You could put cornstarch, you could put baby powder, you can put anything that would dry it out. I asked him if I could put alcohol, because alcohol does dry things out. He was like, yeah. So I'm not going to grow my hair out, just for the simple fact so I can keep that area dry and make sure that my hair goes back really beautifully, and you know, so I can finesse and get back to my hair journey, because I miss taking care of my hair, like I really do. So with that being said, we're gonna end this video, and I want to thank you so much for tuning in. And if you have not already, please hit that subscribe button so whenever I post, you are alerted. Please like, because it really helps your girl out, and comment also so I can get some ideas from you guys on what you like and also what you think about the video. But I will see you next time. Peace.